And like I felt like P1 could have just pressed the issue a bit more. Instead, Cloud9 were able to scale up, play a very slow 30 minutes, and then really take over in the back half of the game. We're into the draft for game number 2 though, so we'll see if we have any changes. Seems like P1 also agree with Smoothie's good performance there, because they'll ban away the Ashe again from Sneaky, but take the Bard away from Smoothie.
Yep, keep that Bard out of there. Also just banning what was working for them. I think now you ban the Malzahar. I think you leave the GP open. GP blind pick, not that great. You can counter pick it with a lot of different things, but it is a great champion for Zig.
Shen Sivir banned away there from Cloud9, like you mentioned, banning away kind of what beat them as Gragas was the final ban there from Phoenix 1. And Cloud9, do they just say, we do have to take the Malzahar away, or do they give it over and maybe Jensen feels comfortable in the 1v1? I feel like teams have underestimated the Malz, but they will ban the Gangplank away. So 2 bans again to Zig, and P1 just say, yep, we'll take it if you give it to us. Malzahar's back.
Yep, Vladimir's still on the table. The previous bans from C9 were Shen, Gangplank, Braum. So Braum falls through as well, and Vladimir is the other one.
Well, we'll see what Cloud9 do want to take here. Can't imagine Meteos is at least interested in taking away the Rek'Sai for himself.
Oh, especially since the Gragas is banned away. But that will be leaving Inori to play something like Hecarim. I don't really enjoy playing Rengar into Rek'Sai, because you can see him through his stealth from a further range, and all you have to do is stand on top of who you think he's going to jump on and just A-click. A-click, and you'll come up as soon as he leaps on him, and you'll actually stop the damage. So
tricky stuff there, but I think Inori will at least flash the Rengar, if nothing else.
Yep, that's the other option for him.
Cloud9 do go with Jhin and Rek'Sai though, so pretty standard stuff there. Sneaky going to take kind of the last utility AD carry left, and Inori insta-locks Olaf as Gate takes away Braum.
That is a very devastating level 1 team fight already. I'm pretty sure P1, they should invade. They should just get Braum passives on people, keep throwing the axes down. You have Ghost over the flashes, so if people just flash straight down a lane, well, Jin's probably going to die. You'll probably kill the Rek'Sai as well. See if you can actually pick up some of those early kills and get yourself an early lead, because this is a very aggressive team from P1.
See what Cloud9 have in store here for picks 3 and 4 then, as Jensen actually hovering Zilean, which I believe we saw already into Malzahar. I can't quite recall which player it was, but have seen it already. Doesn't feel great, but feels relatively safe, which is kind of what you need against a champion as powerful as Malzahar. Cloud9 though still with options. Sneaky, maybe even giving, Thresh over to Smoothie, and there is the Zilean locked in for Jensen. They'll leave Impact with the counter pick this time around.
Yeah, it was actually Jensen who played the Zilean into Envy, playing it up against Ninja's Malzahar.
It does feel prepared, it feels like. Cloud9 give it away knowing that Jensen feels maybe comfortable in that 1v1. Curious to see how that works out, because it's gone wrong in the past when he played against P1 as early as yesterday.
That's true. I do believe, though, that the Zilean, he can keep up his pressure a little bit. He is very mana-hungry early, so he gets shoved in. But he ends up not so much stopping Malzahar, like pushing pressure back onto him. He just kind of prevents what Malzahar wants to do. Single one person out, make sure that they can't get blown up, and save his team.
And that's all you really need to do against Malzahar, is just kind of stop that snowball effect. Looks like last picks, though, are in for Phoenix 1 as Tristana and Rumble are the final selection. Zig going to take something a little more aggressive into that top lane, although it is a blind pick, of course, with Impact still to choose his champion. And Mash kind of going back to a throwback pick. You haven't seen too much Tristana. She's appeared a few times this summer, but definitely a pick that Mash is comfy on.
Yeah, I assume they go for a damage dealer here, but yes, the Tristana, I believe, is a great pick, especially when you compare it with a Braum. Gives you some protection, you can become a hyper carry, get those turrets, because all Tristana has to do is just walk up, throw an E on it, and then Braum walks up and throws an E up, so you can't wave clear.
Maybe that element as well. P1 recognizing that, you know what, we kind of kept up in the lane swap but couldn't break mid as easily, as last pick is Aurelia actually for Impact. Kind of expected to see it last time. See it now into the Rumble rather than the Gnar. Looks like Zig's kind of gone away from that champion this particular draft.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to push him towards the Gnar again and then pick the Aurelia as the counter. But the pick of the Rumble, maybe a little bit of a curveball there for Cloud9. Overall, though, Cloud9's composition, pretty standard for him. We do see the Jhin again for Sneaky. This is pretty much just everybody playing champions they're incredibly comfortable on, right? Sneaky on Jhin, Smoothie on Thresh. It's that throwback. maybe taking some bunny lessons too. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
they're actually both fantastic
Yeah.
Threshes. When I knew them in Challenger, they were both Thresh one-tricks. Or I guess every Challenger player was a Thresh one-trick, I guess, in Season 4 and 5, right?
Yeah, if you're a support player, you probably only played Thresh. Much like back in the day, you only played Lee Sin.
That's true. That's true. If you weren't a Lee Sin player, you weren't a good jungler, but depends.
Rip Lee Sin.
That's true. That's true.
Fallen so far. Well, Drafts is in. Coach going to shake hands one more time. Our Phoenix One going to get to do that again. Or Cloud going to take the sweep. I guess we'll have to find out soon-ish. But a bit of a change here from P1. We expected almost no tanners for Cloud9, which is what happened. P1 have adapted. Is it enough here to win this second game and force another third? I guess we'll find out. Don't forget to keep those hashtags rolling. Hashtag P1 win. If P1 going to make another miraculous 2-1 comeback on hashtag C9 win. If you think they're going to hold on, sweep this series as maybe teams would have expected them to, although not so much after yesterday. Definitely a lot to play for here.
Yeah, and P1, I feel like they're strongest when they're most underestimated. When we saw them go 0-9 at the start of the split, it was immediately like, oh, count this team out. People are like starting to insult them and stuff. Piglet have an interview where he's like, they're a disgrace. It's like, what? Now they start picking it up. 4-2 on the second half of the split, and now they're just trying to gain momentum.
They instantly move out as 4 towards the top half of the map. Pyrian gonna probably get a ward down that middle, but looks like that invade you predicted is gonna come out here for Phoenix One. Could just be for vision, but if they find a pick they like,
they're gonna use the invade against them. Pretty much the exact same one. Impact hangs out there, and he only sees Zig. Oh, nope. It's like too cheap of an invade. I feel like now you call it off, and if you need lane swap wards, you just run straight through.
good little ward there from Impact. Gonna make sure to spot them all coming in, but again, it just feels like Deep Vision's gonna be traded off here. Cloud9 starting to move over into Phoenix One's red side of the jungle. And you can see the pings already onto that really deep wall between the tier 3 and the tier 2 in bottom lane. So could have another lane swap on our hands here.
Quite possibly, and just get those lane swap wards down. You'd have a little bit of a faster push with the Tristana, and you'd be able to get that turret down maybe a little bit quicker. The Jhin does end up critting them, so he gets a decent amount of bonus damage too.
It should be, for all intents and purposes, pretty much the same time. I guess it's just a matter of if the teams want to commit to the swap or not. Feels like P1 are sticking their duo lane up towards that top half, and Sneaky's already anchored in the bottom lane, so once again, they're going to have a lane swap to start this game. I feel like I've seen so many Cloud9 games where they lane swap, but kind of with the way their team likes to play things out, it does make sense to me.
Yeah, and it also allows Smoothie to roam mid really early on, and it looked like he was just trying to get another roam. He has Thunderlords on Thresh, so you know he's looking for an aggressive play. And it's actually a fantastic champion to actually make those kinds of roams on.
Looks like Cloud9 is going to shove this down. Nice little wave clear there from Sneaky. Gets through melee minions with the dancing grenade. But again, this should just be a standard push. But Impact's already walked his way down to this lane. Zig's going to join top half, so no teleports need to be burnt just yet. Take these towers in a nice orderly fashion as Pyrian going to lose that passive. Jensen level 2.
Yeah, and Meteos might actually go for something cheeky here. Could clear out the Raptors and then go for a level 3 gank mid. Or he can just go on his way and continue to go for the red buff. He has the options, but... he tunnels down, okay.
Dances back and forth a bit, but decides not to commit to a potential gank. Kind of tricky to convert a gank with a Zillion in the lane, but it's not impossible.
Could have gone for the Malzahar in the back, but doesn't go for it. And instead, Inori gets to clear out one more camp than him.
Catch up pretty quickly, though. Both these junglers pretty efficient when it comes to early clear. Jensen, though, just keeping the wave shoved in. Pyrian can't really clear too efficiently without some levels. Jensen just able to double on the wave and kind of just leave whenever he wants here. And Nori finally taking down that red buff. Meteos a little further ahead, I think, although it may have just done some different jungle pathing. Regardless, though, we are going to trade these turrets back. Cloud9 ahead for the early stages here. Impact gets the gold, but Zig going to collect only seconds after. And I imagine these teams are going to swap back. Cloud9 already looking to push Sneaky and Smoothie into the top lane.
Yep. Only difference here between pretty much the entire map is that P1 got an extra camp earlier, and then Meteos trades out that camp for the Scuttle. So Inori's just barely up at the moment, but it'll just wax and wane by like one camp. Inori's ahead by a couple seconds.
Yeah, just some small pieces of jungle fun.
Here we go. They see them coming up. They see both of them. Malzahar starts to roam. P1 gonna augment the roams. They're gonna augment the lane swap.
I like it. Smoothie's on level 2. Inori, oh, first X misses.
Why is he here? Is what Smoothie's saying?
Throw another one. Exhaust already down. Teleport committed for Cloud9. Damages that. Malzahar's good. And Inori gets himself first blood. Now Sneaky going to try and get himself away. Jensen did teleport up here. So did Impact. They're going to try and take out Zig. Sneaky takes a huge amount of damage, but he will get the kill back in onto Rumble. As Jensen going to try and chase down Inori. Perian's going to get out of there. And Inori kind of left to die. Who's going to get this kill? Sneaky looking for it again, but Jensen gets the bomb down.
And that's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Cloud9, who got engaged on. TPs come through, and that's the disadvantage that you risk because you have a top laner on the other side of the map, so it's actually a numbers disadvantage. And speaking of which, 2-on-1.
Caught. Jensen flashes forward. There's the bomb. There's one. Perian going to flash up. Meteor's going to flash in for it. Gets the last few autos down and make sure Jensen gets the kill.
2-0-1 at 4 minutes and 50 seconds for Jensen. Tower push is what they sacrifice, but now Bunny's going to try to hold, and we'll see how that works out after this, because Inori walks up, gets the other side, misses the first one, but he has the red buff application, able to ghost through. They pick up Smoothie. That's clean. But then they don't collapse. I feel like that's the mistake, is they don't collapse onto Impact and Jensen immediately, because this puts the fight so far away from where Malzahar is that Perian can't actually join in. If you're able to collapse on the teleport, Sneaky's level 2, he's out of the fight, and then you have multiple level 4s on a level 4 and a 3.
Yeah, Perian just got himself caught towards the end as well, so didn't even live, despite not being able to join the fight as aggressively as he may have wanted to. And Jensen will take 2-0-1, return his way to the lane with a Catalyst already completed and an early looking Rod of Ages on the way there. P1 didn't even trade that turret back either. So they've actually rejoined into standard lanes, but P1 don't have a turret in this bottom lane. And only one turret apiece, and Ori's at it again.
Yeah, but Meteos is also around here to counter gank. Tag Sneaky. No, he doesn't have flash.
Lantern's good, but now Meteor's going to join in. Make sure it doesn't happen. Huge triple play. Sneaky going to go down. That was Inori chases him down. Smoothie tried, but he couldn't quite pull someone under the turret for a kill.
Hey, you were talking about you want to see more aggression from P1. Hey, it's your kind of game, play-by-play.
Yeah, I mean, even the top lane attempt there from P1 didn't work out in practice, but the theory is great there. I think P1 trying to close the lane swap early, get themselves a few kills. Very creative. Try and make something happen.
It doesn't work for two reasons in this game. Because of TP, most mid laners have started to abandon it in favor of Ghost. But because it was double TP, Jensen's able to roam and match it, even though he normally wouldn't be able to. And the other one was just the fact that, you know, they didn't collapse back on the teleports.
Yep, and looks like turret is finally going to fall. Good aggression from Inori. Make sure P1 collect that outer turret that they prepped in bottom lane earlier. Jensen level 6 going to get ultied up by the Malzahar, but that's not quite enough damage.
It's ambitious.
Voidling finally going to spawn. I think Perian maybe messed up the inputs there. And Jensen is going to hold that ultimate, doesn't need to burn it. In fact, he's going to stay in lane.
Yeah, he's got a Catalyst, so you spend a bunch of mana, you get your blue buff handed off to you, you're just going to recover HP over time. He's got such high costs, too, that he really does actually get a lot of HP back.
Meteos also here. Going to take the Raptor camp away from Inori, though. See if he wants to have a visit to Perian's lane, but I think Jensen's more than happy just farming things up here. Going to take the waves down. Getting pushed in now because Malzahar's able to very quickly push the waves in, but Jensen can safely wave clear and just collect farm at his leisure. Sneaky once again. Lantern on top. Can't be too aggressive here in this bottom lane because Cloud9 don't really have anywhere to run to. Meteor's they're going to try something.
Yeah, this is a long lane too. Like, that turret's already gone. He doesn't know where Nori is, but he's been checking it out. He's like, this guy's not at his red buff. He's not on his bottom side of the map, and now gonna chase him down.
They want match. They lock up Gate though with the snare from Sneaky. Gate, he's gonna be the sacrifice here, and Sneaky gets himself a second kill.
Yep, they tried to ward it a little bit too late on that. And immediately Impact starts pulling back, knowing that if you're making a play on the bottom side of the map, communicate it, and so your top laner backs off. I've seen too many times where something happens bot, and they try to make something happen top, where you know that you're gonna have a numbers disadvantage. So, backs off.
Great coverage there from Cloud9. Meteos does some thorough investigation work before attempting that gank on the bottom lane. P1 going to have to play a little more safely, perhaps, as Sneaky and Smoothie push that lane in. Mash will now collect the CS that will move towards his tier 2 turret, but Cloud9 have created some space for this Infernal Drake, and they are going to start 3-manning it. Jen's going to join in as well, and Impact, if necessary, can come, but P1 sniff this out, managed to chase them off the objective.
Perian almost has his ultimate. He's a couple seconds away, but he pops the Ghost, and now it's up.
Well, P1 actually might turn it around for the Infernal Drake instead. Cloud9, a little too aggressive trying to take that down, and instead they gift it over.
Yeah, their timing on these Drakes early has been a bit off in terms of power spikes and what the enemy team is doing position-wise, but Impact would have to blow teleport to get there, and they had actually pulled Zig down straight into this lane.
I mean, unfortunately for Zig, he's not doing too much else because he's really far down in CS.
Yeah, there's a big wave top right now that he needs to catch, or else he risks just actually having that CS be it's funny because I think of CS as like what's in the wave right now added to what you have. Like it would actually just be this type of difference, this 21 or this 31.
Yeah, he's walking. He's about to lose.
Losing a lot.
Maybe more creeps. Gonna finally pick these up, so he's got 7 to add to the total here, but he is woefully behind Impact still.
Yeah.
1v1 has not been working out particularly well.
And you saw Zig just hit 7. Impact is about to hit 8. And we saw him have a 2-level advantage last game where he's just getting funneled decent amount of farm, but it's not so much that they're like giving up waves to allow him to have it. It's he's so good at just picking up the waves and managing them and knowing that his TP is going to matter, and he makes that moment worth it.
See Phoenix 1 actually bringing multiple people up to this lane. Gonna swap out of the Aurelia 1v1 for now. In fact, maybe even just try for a tower dive here. Meteos is around.
I think you make a play here because Sneaky's on the bottom. Jensen just used teleport to get back to mid lane. Push this turret down. You have a Tristana, you have a Braum. You can have your Malzahar get wave advantage in mid lane, and Jhin is never going to get your tier 2 in the time that you're going to take this one.
Yeah, Jensen's can't leave the lane because Malzahar's right there waiting for him. Smoothie has roamed up though, so maybe enough here for Cloud9 to defend 3v4 with the turrets to help them out. But P1 are going to move in. Good ulti there from Impact to clear out most of the wave. Going to surf on a bunch of minions and collect some CS as well, and C9 deflect that easily.
Yeah, it was a really late Unbreakable there from Gate, and he just seemed a little too cautious. I feel like if you block those Transcendent Blades, you really shut down the wave clear.
Well, fortunately for P1, again, I like the spirit of the play, but execution not quite there. Pyrion is going to lose the passive. Jensen tries to lead a bomb, but Pyrion is going to skirt the edges around and make sure he avoids it. Unfortunately, that does mean Cloud9 are up almost 700 gold.
Despite being down a turret.
Continuing to get farm as well. Things looking good. Impact more than happy to keep the wave back. He's going to have Trinity Force up relatively quickly. And they're at it again trying to gank Impact, but he's just playing so safe.
Yeah, and now you can see, look at Cloud9. All 5 members are like, hey, they are trying to make a play top. Let's go.
Most of Cloud9 coming. Zig's still with that teleport, but he is bottom lane for now. Meteos does see 3 of them moving through. Doesn't quite tag match with the Prey Seeker, but his presence alone is enough to kick P1 out of that potential gank again. And Impact, once again, plenty of space to play with. Still up in CS versus Zig here.
Yeah, it's very hard to make those types of plays early on because you don't have level 9. You don't have that upgraded sweeper that follows you. So you can't have that whole Minesweeper. I'm running around just trying to find all the wards. And if you don't see any, you're like, all right, it's clear. They didn't see me walk up here.
Sneaky's actually mid lane as well, looking to start a siege, locks him down. Pyrion need to get ulted up as well. Bullet's going to fly away. Ghost actually helping out, needs one more though. Does not land the crit.
And a sniper. Misses all of them.
Snap.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. Okay, I won't include. I won't embarrass Canada. That's fine. You know, it's just us. Anyway, the Ghost is popped there as well, though, from Pyrion, and it does force it back, so overall it is an advantage for Cloud9. More CS advantage here in that mid lane for Jensen, as well as experience that's going to be wasted.
And Sneaky able to collect some farm in this top lane as well. Impact has kind of opened up a nice little farming spot there in the top lane. Sneaky more than happy to move in to collect it. A little bit behind Mash right now on CS, so it makes sense.
And that's why we see the gold difference being 300 right now, because there's this wave top, there's this wave on the bottom side. And Impact has a lot of gold. There's basically like 400 gold sitting in that bottom wave right now.
Impact kind of scooping it all up now as well as P1 continuing to be proactive around the map, but Cloud9 have played very well defensively. It does feel like this team starting to develop a pretty interesting style where, you know, they're happy to play deliberate, kind of play the game out, collect their farm in a very macro level sense, and then kind of win the mid to late game.
Yeah, but up against those top teams that will abuse you early on, it's a strategy that doesn't hold as much water.
Well, maybe it's something they adapt between opponents. They definitely don't want to make mistakes here and drop games to P1 where realistically they shouldn't be. But Phoenix 1, of course it's their job to try and upset here. Looking not too bad here in this in the second game, but game 1 was kind of started in the same fashion. Cloud9 have continued to do a good job playing strong reactive League of Legends, and they've got the Zillion, they've got the Aurelia, even Jin just farming up. Everyone's happy to be patient here. Cloud9 are a team that, at least I've seen them play recently, more than happy to wait.
Yep, Cloud9 can be very patient here. P1, on the other hand, is going to pick this up. And who will it go to? Probably an Ori.
Probably. Zig is trapped in the bottom lane, so unless he wants to commit teleport to it, Meteos does spot the lack of Rift Turret with the Prey Seeker, but not nearly there in time to try and steal it. And Ori's going to go ahead and get it. Meteos actually going to spot him, but he'll pick up Glimpse of the Void. It's a good buff for Olaf to have.
Yep, took 3 people to do it, and so they pick it up. We'll see if he can actually put some good use to it. Olaf loves to dive, so sometimes he does get out of range of his teammates and allows himself to make use of the Glimpse of the Void.
You can see Red Smite Cinderhawk as well for an Ori. A bit more aggressive. Meteos actually, no TM at this time. He's playing for the Vision. Went for the Sightstone, has the Balmy Cinder. Impact now finishes his Trinity Force as well. Zig does have Sorkshoe's Proto Belt, so he's got some good early efficiency in those items, but Impact, I think it's his time to really take over a lane, either 1v1 or getting involved in some sort of skirmish. Yeah,
the Trinity Force power spike, absolutely huge. And the fact that he's a level up as well, Trinity Force goes off your base damage, get more base damage, get more damage in general with Trinity Force. So if he hits that level 11 before a fight breaks out, has that rank 2 ultimate, it would be very beneficial. And Zig would love that right now. Zig would love to have level 2 equalizer before a fight.
Oh, this is bad news though. Yeah, gonna get chunked. Impact will chase him. Protobelt, maybe not enough there. Impact looking for a solo kill, perhaps under the turret. Gonna line up the last blade surge, gets it and executes the rumble.
Ooh, well played there from Impact. Gets the reset as well, so that he's able to Q again to a minion and get out and not take many turret shots.
Nice stuff, and Cloud9 as a result will also open up space on the bottom side of the map. They'll start the Cloud Drake. Should be able to get it for themselves. P1 do have it watered, but they don't have the manpower to try and defend. And that's a big deal as Mash trapped in midair. It's a bomb. Jensen also doing pretty significant damage. He's level 11 right now.
Yeah, Zillion only has 1 damaging ability in his kit, so a lot of it is just loaded into that ability. And it's a skill shot on top of it, so it has to be really rewarding to land. That's what we see happen when both hit on the AD carry.
Jensen feeling pretty good with blue buff. 20 CS ahead with the Rotovate just finished and Morello Nomicon being worked on. Did start off with some early kills from Cloud9's nice little top lane rotation. Jensen reaping the full benefits right now. Bombs himself. I think he wanted the minions, but he's not too fast. I mean, Imperium's keeping up. He's Malzahar, but P1 have just not been able to find the same angles they were able to yesterday. The noise pressure's kind of been subdued a little bit. Imperium's not really been able to leave this lane. And Jensen's along with the teleport, so P1 kind of forced to play Cloud9's game, which is real good news for Cloud9.
Yeah. Despite being up a turret, they still don't have that pressure advantage. Cloud9, I think it's that Sight Stone as well from Meteos, and the fact that he has the Tremor Sense on Rek'Sai, it allows them to just make very aggressive moves or avoid the aggression.
Here we are again.
Yep.
Furion keeps dancing back. That Ghost helping out a lot, actually.
He slowed him down.
Sneaky does save the last bullet. Gay jumps in as well, though, but he's going to get snared up by Sneaky. Might cost himself his life. It'll just cost a flash. Jensen flashes forward, looks for the last bomb, but doesn't land it.
That was really aggressive from Jensen there, and put down the slow onto Furion so that that last crit shot from Sneaky's Curtain Call could land. Now they're going to have to bring Olaf and Tristan to the mid lane, try to clear this out, make sure that they can prevent the siege from happening.
Looks like wave clears enough, though. Mash there in time. And Zig still just trying to get some CS off of Impact here. Impact continuing to bully this lane a little bit more. He's going to back off because P1 have kind of ducked back into Fog of War, although Inori's on top of a pink ward right now. He'll clear that out from that little bit of brush. And Impact going to go back, maybe spend some money. As a Ghostblade Mash is back again, I realized.
Yeah, Ghostblade looks like it'll be Runeat's Hurricane second afterwards. So already got that attack speed. Armor penetration works against turrets, so it is actually quite good.
BF still for Sneaky though, going for Dustblade, so armor penetration everywhere for the AD carries right now. And again, the battle for mid lane turrets continue, but they are short-lived as you really just kind of trade chip back and forth for a few minutes. Impact though is starting to make a real dent in that top lane turret.
Yeah, slowly but surely getting there. Has that advantage, level 11, but Evened up now by Zig, slows down, but still ahead in the experience department.
Well, that's the thing, this gold lead, kind of alluded to it already, but it is deceptive here. Cloud9 are up in gold, but that's behind a turret.
Yeah, they have a
From
turret
that lane
to take.
swap.
If they just power through on the top side of the map, they would be able to force it down, but they have to honestly respect the power of P1 and what they'd be able to do here.
Everyone's sticking together as well. Meteos entertains the idea of a dive, but does not commit. With the rest of P1 clearly ready to answer. Blue buff is up as well, but Pyrian should be able to get this for himself. Gonna let the Voidlings do most of the work there. And yeah, they're gonna run back in and make sure they get it. And Ori just make sure it does enough damage. Pyrian gonna go ahead and get the buff. Cloud9 again doing some damage to the mid lane turret, but it's just Jensen's wave clearing a couple of autos here and there. Neither team really hard committing to any sort of siege, knowing that there's plenty of farm still to get on the side lanes. You can see a ping down the bottom lane for Cloud9. I imagine that Sneaky gonna wander down with Smoothie to pick up a wave. And there he is. Sneaky's favorite side lane farm.
Yep. You have to assume that he's going to go for it, though, if you are P1. Not really able to make a move around it either. And, like, you should be making plays around gigantic minion waves when they push forward. If you push the enemy underneath their turret, they have to back off because you brought numbers there they didn't expect. Then you get chip damage on the turret. You can continue to do that every few minutes. But in this case, P1 aren't really making too much of it. It looks like now they're trying to invade the jungle with it. And they bring Pyrian over as well. So it'll be a 4-on-4, but Impact does even up the turrets.
Yeah, Zig finally forced off that turret. That gives Impact the time to take it down. Turret's not evened up as Cloud9 get themselves about 2,000 gold ahead. Ulti out from Gate, though, looking for a play. Smoothie forced to flush out the wall. Jensen's been caught, though, but they actually knock it around. He gets the ulti onto himself, and Meteor's going to try and shred Pyrian apart. Sneaky pots the ultimate, but it's not quite enough as Zig frontlining gets hooked by Smoothie. Bomb should be there, though, as Sneaky able to take him down. And Impact's fighting Inori with now Gate on the side as well. He's got a bomb on his head, diving back in onto it. Gets himself a double kill to Sneaky as Gate's going to get locked up by the deadly flourish.
Vision's about to
trying to get back in and clean it up, but the exhaust is down. Sneaky gets himself a triple kill as it all settles. And Pyrian, the only one left. There's the Quadra and Sneaky. Can he get another penta? He does!
And Sneaky picks up a pentakill in this hectic fight. Oh, man.
His second one of the season.
Yep, his second one of the season. As 21 minutes in, Cloud9 forced the fight around the blue buff as P1 were looking to get aggressive. That's a huge influx of gold for Sneaky. Goes from 2-1-1 to 5-1-1. Jensen's even going to get the mid turret here as well. And Cloud strikes back up in 30 seconds. Cloud9 once again find an opening.
Oh, man. Sneaky, 7-1-1 after this fight. Does an amazing job here. He also has a lot of pressure on him, too, because Inori goes off on the side. They get Jensen, but the stun doesn't go off from Braum fast enough. Able to get back up. Sneaky positions to use his ultimate, but then he gets Rumble ulti, has to back up, and then re-enters the fight. Goes after Ziggs, picks up the first kill, and now Pyrian's over the wall because he's been chunked out. Impact has the bomb, and it's really well played here with the dash to get back in. Picks up that kill, and is honestly, it's a kill there from Sneaky off on the side. And whoa. Oh, they're collapsing on Impact.
The good-looking sequence on Jin there, but we're not going to watch it all as Impact is able to get away there. Actually goes back in. Rest of Cloud9 here, he's going to try and stun up one. He slows Inori. Meteor's here as well, though. Hook lands in. Zig caught again as the W is going to land in for the snare. Zig now forced to flash up, but Impact just going to shred through them all. The last bullet whizzes by Gate. He doesn't quite go down. Impact, though, revived by Zillion. Pyrian now caught out of position. Jensen this time gets the double. There's another as Pyrian going to go down. A triple kill for Jensen. Are they going to go in for Inori as well? Maybe a Quadra this time for the mid laner as Inori chased up, unborrowed there, and Jensen gets another. There's the Quadra!
And Cloud9, they aren't playing around anymore. That first game, really slow at first, then that gigantic burst of gold. But now, 23 minutes in, already a penta and a quadra kill for them. And Cloud9 are just taking over.
I was ready for the back-to-back pentas. Jensen not to be, though, as Cloud9 will simply take a tier 2 turret. Go themselves 4-2 up in turrets, 15-5 up in kills. Those last 9 happening in the last few minutes.
And picking up so many turrets to boot as well. 3 turrets in that time.
And a Cloud Drake. And about 7,000 gold ahead.
Just taking everything on the map, and Cloud9 saying, Liquid won their game today, but we need to still keep hold of third, because in week 9, Cloud9 plays Team Liquid for that third place spot most likely. And the stakes would be very high there. Mash walks back in, Impact just goes, all right, time to queue. Because at that point, he's like, my team's gonna get slaughtered, I have to do something. and he ends up dying. Impact goes back in, big facilitator of that fight, but keeps getting sped up as well.
You say facilitator.
Yep.
I say he stole the penta.
He earned that
Pretty
one.
sure that last bomb was going to kill Mash. But Impact takes it with the Blade Surge instead. Jensen is denied the back-to-back penta.
Yes, he needs to have a formal apology for not being a soothsayer.
I'm sure it's fine. Cloud9 will take it regardless, as they are real far ahead in this game. Jensen now with a death cap completed, so no one's messing around on the Cloud9 side.
Yeah, and now P1 is a very large advantage that they have to claw their way back from. And that hook onto Zig to start it all off is just absolutely beautiful. It's the one person they really wanted. They hooked Inori. Maybe he would have ultied out. But he ends up going on the right person, and oh.
And all this pressure now. Sneaky using the ultimate pretty much whenever it's up to try and force something Gate, able to hop his way out with Stand behind me, but Cloud9 still not done. Smoothie's been on point with hooks in the last few minutes. Empyrean maybe caught out. GNW not quite in range of Sneaky, a little off by a screen. Zig going to put the ulti down, and Meteor's getting chased out on the other side. Pyrian going to commit the ultimate. The rest of P1 are in there.
He needs the
Meteor
lantern.
flashes out, but he gets himself stunned. He can't click it even if he wanted to. Lives forever, though, as the Jensen ulti's going to keep him alive. Now Impact, round the side, gets exhausted, flashes over the top, though, and goes in for Inori. Matt locked up there as Jensen slays him with a few bombs. Impact takes that Inori, and Cloud9 react beautifully to pick up 2 clean kills.
And the Zillion is just shutting down everything that P1 wants to accomplish. Gets around the corner, gets the chrono shift off, and that just has to tilt you a bit.
Well, Cloud9 might even look for Baron now as well. Not the best Baron damage. Team Mokega catch instead. Sick. Locked up and bursted down. Sneaky godlike as well. As Gate going to get chased. Meteor gets the Umbaro on the back end of the hitbox, and there's a double kill for Sneaky.
Smoothie again, another hook. The previous fight got a hook to start it all off again. Hooked Zig, this time even more. So this Thresh working out for him.
And now time for the Baron, I think, as Jensen chases Pyrian out. Kind of the only one left right now is Inori and Mash are both leaving the base. C9, not the most Baron damage, but more than enough to secure it this time around. And they are insanely far ahead. 26 minutes in, now more than 10,000 gold up on Phoenix One, looking for the sweep.
And Phoenix One, you know, they took down TSM, they got a large morale boost. They had to feel really good about that coming into this game. And then Cloud9, they're just deflating that balloon right now. Pyrian, he popped his ghost really early because he thought this would happen. Speeds away. They really want to get onto Jensen here. Backs up to avoid the Braum knockup. Flashes away from the Lantern, so there isn't one to actually get Meteos out, and then Meteos ends up doing the chrono shift, and the rest is history.
Now, as we pop back in, Impact almost takes out Mash, farming a little too far forward in that top lane. But a more of Malmortius means that Impact does real damage, especially in a 1v1, as Cloud9 with that Baron buff going to push in, try and knock down some of these inhibitor turrets. Mid tier 2 goes down. That's 5 turrets to 2 now, with only the top lane tier 2 left for P1, and C9 going to try and take out this mid inhib first, I think.
Yeah, they had 3 people from P1 side sitting in that top bush waiting for Impact, and Impact played it safe. He didn't play it aggressive. He didn't get overconfident. He's 3-1-9. It's so easy to get cocky and then walk forward.
Oh, bomb with Gate. Snare lands as well. Sneaky opens up the ulti. Impact dives straight in for it, actually. Gets himself the first kill. As they're going to try and chase Pyrian out of his own base. He's forced to leave as Cloud9 going to look to take out the mid. They'll break open the center of the base, take the inhib here as well, and might even push for more.
Yeah, and C9 looks like they're conquering a bit of the composition that was used from P1 yesterday. And
Doing there. Dustblade proc, see ya. Sneaky goes a legendary, and Cloud9 going to push straight back in.
immediately start going towards the actual objective. Cool guys don't look at explosion.
Finds Zig. Zig going to go down. Impact with the ulti as well. Does go down, gets himself some health back. Cloud9 moving in for the kill.
And it looks like they want to take this clean sweep, the 2-0 over P1, and shut down that hype.
Turret 1 goes down, and Cloud9 in game 2 take absolutely 0 prisoners. They'll knock down the Nexus turrets. They'll look to pick up a few more kills, but that Nexus will fall, and Cloud9 are going to pick themselves up the 2-0 sweep versus Phoenix One.
Well, 9 going to pad the stats a little bit more, but yes, they are going to close it out clean. 2-0.
Almost made me look like a liar, but managed to take it there. A back-to-back Penta and a Quadra as Cloud9 speed things up a bit in the mid-game.
You call it a stolen Penta.
It was a stolen.
No, he stole Impact's double. Calling it.
Well, again, the result is probably what matters to these guys more than anything else. Sneaky gets his second Penta of the split. Impact goes berserk on Aurelia. Jensen demonstrates that Zillion is in fact pretty good versus Malzahar. And Cloud9 hold third comfortably, sweeping Phoenix 1.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see that pick come out more because Jensen's been the one really just bringing